All right. Again, so happy Wednesday, everybody. Today is December 1st, 2021. And this is Off the Charts. I'm actually not sure which episode we're on because I just randomly started this. I felt like I was trading a lot, but some people really need to fix their mindset first before they can really dive in and start trading. Because honestly, if you don't believe that you can make money, if you don't believe that you can learn a skill, if you don't believe that you can achieve the things that you're trying to achieve, whether it's within this business or outside of this business, then it's going to be a hard time for you to actually put the right amount of effort behind that thing, because it really does all start with belief and it starts in your mind. Honestly, even when you wake up in the morning, your body is programmed to do certain things. Some people, when they get up, and you guys can also drop this in the chat as well. What are some of the first things that you do when you actually wake up in the morning? And for myself, of course, I stretch. I like to read my Bible. I, of course, use the bathroom. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I dance. I listen to music. Like these are things that I just do repeatedly every single day. And 9 times out of 10, I don't even have to think about it. Like I don't have to think about brushing my teeth when I wake up in the morning. I don't have to think about if I'm going to use the bathroom when I wake up in the morning because it's just something that I'm programmed to do. Have you ever noticed also how, let's just say your sleep schedule has been off for a week? Even if it's off for a week, for that entire week, you may be staying up later, right? Because now that's what you're temporarily programmed to do. But you always revert back to your standard sleep schedule. And this is all about how your mind is programmed and the intentions that you're setting for yourself and what you actually want to accomplish and achieve. Now, it's really no secret that most people don't end up achieving the things that they want to actually achieve simply because they quit or give up. We have a 1%, right? It's either the 1% or the 2% because so many people are making a lot more money now. And these people are only in that tax bracket or in that group because they simply decided that they wanted to keep going on with whatever intention that they set at the beginning, right? Now, I like to have analogies just to make it a little bit more clear to people, because everything that you think of is worth executing to the end, right? If you ever get an idea, if you get a thought, if you get a business idea, if you get, I don't know, anything that you get is essentially it's a download. And where do our thoughts really come from? All right, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God, so I know that if my thoughts aren't coming from other people, aka me watching TV, me listening to the radio, me talking to friends and family, if my thoughts aren't coming from there, they must be coming from somewhere else. And I like to actually act on those things and try to at least realize it to the end so that I can live up to the full potential of that thing. So everybody drop, you could just drop this in the chat. What's one goal that you would like to accomplish in the next 6 months? Right? What's one goal that you would like to accomplish in the next 6 months? And this can be anything. This can be in your personal life. This can be in your business life. This can be in your trading journey. This can be in your relationships. Just drop one thing that you would like to accomplish, right? Because our goals should be so, we should be so emotionally attached to our goals that nothing could make us give that thing up, right? But before you go hard with something, right? Financial literacy, okay, Jordan, that's a great one. 100K, okay, all right. Now, before you actually are able to accomplish this thing, you have to get emotionally attached to that goal, or you're going to end up quitting, right? Because if you don't care about what you're doing and if you don't believe that it can happen, then how are you actually going to get there, right? How are you going to get there, right? So I'm gonna use Roy's example. Well, I'm gonna use Roy's example. He said he wants to make $100,000, right? So that's your goal. You have to hold on to that. You have to become emotionally attached to that. Whenever you I want you to just take every goal that you guys dropped in the chat. Vanessa says she wants to have 10 or more clients for her business. It's already done. Any goal that you have, I want you to just take 20 seconds to really think about, literally think about how you're going to feel once you accomplish that goal. So, Roy, just go ahead and start smiling. You probably driving like always, so you can't be jumping up and down, but clap your hands, right? Smile, right? Get happy, get excited. What's the first thing you're going to say, right? How are you going to feel once that goal is accomplished? Right? You have to start with the feeling, right? Like you really have to start with the feeling. Like when I think about myself becoming a multimillionaire, when I think about myself being retired at the age of 29, when I think about really making money from my phone for the rest of my life and how I'm never going to go back into a traditional workplace, I get so excited and I really start smiling and I feel warm and tingly and I'm happy and I'm genuinely happy as if this thing is already done, as if this thing is already here. Right? So I'll give you guys just 30 seconds. And 9 times out of 10, it may feel like you got chills. You may feel, if you really are, this is how you know you're actually connected to your goal. If you might get chills, right? You may feel your body get hot. You may feel the butterflies in your stomach, like your intuition is telling you that it's already done. You just may get really happy. So just take some time, literally the next 20 seconds or so, and just really sit with the feeling, right, of you accomplishing that goal. Because just as much as you want it, I want that thing for you, but you have to genuinely want it, right? You can't just say, I want to make $100,000. I want to have 10 clients, but not be emotionally attached to the thing that happens. Because the way manifestation works is it doesn't work just on your words alone, but it works on the feelings behind the word. Right. So I'm gonna stop talking, right, for 30 seconds. And I just want you guys to just be grateful and just be happy and excited about how you're gonna feel once you accomplish that goal in the next 6 months. Right. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds to do that. All right, guys. So how do you feel? Right? Just drop in the chat like how you're feeling after sitting with that goal for about 30 seconds, right? I know I feel good. I was just like, oh my goodness, my bank account hit 7 figures. I am excited. Yes, Rory said he feels wonderful. Jordy says she feels accomplished. And this is something that you have to do every single day, right? Because we only took 30 seconds, but you actually felt those feelings. Now, how often do you sit with your goals? Like how often do you actually sit with your goals to be able to get in that feeling? Because the more you can put yourself in that energy and in that vibration, the easier it is going to be to attract that thing to yourself, right? Now, daily, exactly. You have to do it daily. And Napoleon Hill, who actually wrote Think and Grow Rich, he recommends doing it at least 10 to 30 minutes a day, right? Where you're just sitting there and just being so grateful. Because think about it. If you believe in God, right? And you're expecting God to create all these things and do everything for you, how often do you say thank you? Right? Or are you consistently just asking for stuff? And even when you get that thing, are you saying thank you? Or are you just like, well, I needed it. I knew it would happen. Right? You have to stay in the vibration of gratitude to be able to attract more stuff to yourself. Right? So that's just something that the first thing that I want to highlight for y'all is that you must get attached to the feeling. Like I know a lot of people have affirmations. Okay, I'm so happy and grateful now that. I'm so happy and grateful now that. I'm so happy and grateful now that. But they don't put any emotions behind that thing. So it's seeming like it's taking longer, right? To accomplish. And then they get frustrated and then they give up and then they quit. Right. And then they quit because they didn't get attached to a feeling. They just got attached to an idea. Right. And that's where mistakes, the biggest mistake is made, I think, when it comes to actually accomplishing your goal. So it's two definitions of the word quit that I'm going to give you guys today, and you can write this down and you can choose whichever one applies to you, right? So the first definition I'm going to give you is to quit means to admit defeat, right? And to give up. It means you're admitting defeat and you gave up, right? So when most people give up on their goals, they're admitting defeat to their finances. They're admitting defeat to the negative feedback that they're getting from family and friends, or maybe you're not getting no support at all. When you admit defeat, you're admitting defeat to your fears, right? To your circumstances. But we all know that these things are temporary. And how do we know our circumstances and things are temporary? Well, simply because you're literally physically in a different place than you were last year, right? If your life is in a completely different place than you were last year, drop a one in the chat, right? And if you feel like your life is in the same exact place as you were last year, right? Then of course you need to make some changes because it's been 365 days, which means that that's 365 opportunities to create a new reality for yourself, right? So I see nothing but ones in the chat, right? I literally see nothing but ones in the chat, which is amazing. So if your life could take a jump from last year to this year, right? And this may have been intentional or unintentional, which means that you actually put action into changing your life. Then where do you think your life could be in another 365 days if you intentionally start getting more attached to the things that you want, right? Now, before I put this into practice, I would just be saying affirmations, right? But now we need to switch from affirmation to confirmation, which is extremely important, right? I would just be saying things. Oh, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm rich. I'm so happy and grateful now that all these things, but nothing was really happening, right? Now, I want you guys to just drop some threes in the chat if you've ever said affirmations, right? But then you stopped saying those affirmations because you didn't get any results, right? Just drop a three in the chat. If you stop saying your affirmations because you didn't get any results, right? Now, when it comes to quitting, and I'm going to give you guys a great analogy. I want you to think about your goals like a house, right? And I say this analogy all the time. You are the builder of that house. You have to order those materials. You have to design the blueprint, right? Or get a blueprint from somebody else. But you have to show up every single day to make sure that that house is being built. Why? Because right now we are, let's just say we are financially homeless, right? Not saying that we're completely broke, but we're going to say we're financially homeless. Why we're in this opportunity is because we want to create financial abundance. We want to create financial stability. That is the goal, and that's the house that we want to live in. So we have to build it, right? We have to talk to the right people. We have to have the right conversations, ask the right questions, make the right investments. We have to do all of these things to be able to get this blueprint where we need it to be, right? So once you got the blueprint, we have some goals, and if you're just joining, you can just drop one goal that you want to accomplish in the next 6 months. I know Roy said he wants to make $100,000. Vanessa says she wants to have more clients in her business. Jordan says she wants to increase her financial literacy. I mean, all these things are amazing. So whatever your goal is, because it's going to be different for every person, that's going to be your house, right? That's going to be your house, and you have to build it brick by brick, stone by stone, wood by wood. You have to build that house. Now, if we're gonna say you're financially homeless right now, not saying you're broke, but just for the analogy, if you know you have to build this house in order to have shelter, right? If you know that you have to build this house in order to get out the cold, if you know you got to build this house in order so that you can move your family and friends in because they may also be financially homeless, why would you stop building at only the frame, right? Now, I know we see construction and buildings being built and houses being built all the time, and we can see right through those houses because it's just the frame, right? You see people working tirelessly every day. Now, do you think that if you see a new apartment complex being built, or you see a new mall being built, or you see a new establishment being built, do you think that if those workers just stopped in the middle of the job, that it will be complete? Right? Now that probably sounds like a redundant question, but think about it. If the construction workers stop working on the development, even though they have the blueprint, that structure would never be complete. So you have to think about your goals the same way. It's like you're building it up. You're building it up piece by piece, piece by piece. And if you stop in the middle, how will you ever get to where you're trying to go? Right? Now, Roy, if you say you want to make 100K in the next 6 months, you have to start looking at, okay, what am I doing? Right? I like to break things down into smaller chunks in order for me to understand it because I always have a lot going on. So I literally have to break things down into smaller pieces. Now, you can take your 6 month goal and you can break that down into, all right, in the next 3 months, right? You can break it into, it's 2 quarters in 6 months. So in the next 3 months, what can you do to help you get closer to that goal, right? Then you can back it up even further. You can say, all right, in the next month, what can I do to get closer to this goal, right? And then even you can break it down. What can I do this week? What can I do today? What can I do right now that's going to help me get closer to the goal that I actually want to accomplish in 6 months, right? And this is called beginning with the end in mind because nobody just does stuff just to be doing it. Well, actually, a lot of people do stuff just to be doing it, but you shouldn't be doing stuff just to be doing it. Every single thing you do, every conversation that you have, every phone call that you make, every post that you post on IG, every word that leaves your mouth needs to be set with some type of intention, right? Your life needs to be 100% intentional if you're really going to navigate it and push it into the direction that you're actually trying to go, right? So for everybody who actually dropped a goal in the chat, right? I want you to also now drop what's one thing that you can do today that's going to help you get closer to that goal. Vanessa, what's one thing you can do that's going to help you get those 10 clients, right? Roy, what's one thing you can do that's going to get help you get closer to that 100K? And Jordan, what's one thing you can do that's going to help you improve your financial literacy, right? Because the reason why a lot of people also give up on their goals is because they feel like they're too big, right? They're too big. The goals are too big for them to actually achieve. And then you get overwhelmed because you're only focusing on the end, right? Most people only simply focus on the end goal, right? Networking, okay, that's a good one. Most people only focus on the end goal and not the day-to-day things that they actually have to do to get there, right? Now, this is another quote that you guys can also write down because it's really true. And it's the quality of your future, right? The quality of your future lies in the habits of your daily task, right? And I think I've said this before or something along the lines. The quality of your future lies in the quality of your everyday task, right? Now, for me personally, one of my goals that I want to accomplish in the next 6 months is I want to have at least $500,000, right? It may not be liquid in the bank, but I want to have made $500,000, right? From my multiple investments, from my network marketing opportunities that I'm doing, from my affiliate marketing opportunities. So, what can I do in the next 3 months? Well, in addition to trading, I know I would have to trade every single day, right? Because if I break it down, and I just love to break it down, right? So how many days are in 6 months? Let's see. We got 30 times 6, right? So that's 180 days. And we're going to divide 100K by 180. So look at this beautiful number, y'all. Angel number if y'all into the triple digits. But so basically, Roy, in order for you to accomplish that goal in the next 6 months, you would just have to make $555 a day, right? Now that may seem like a lot, but this is why I have multiple streams of income, right? Because if I have 5 streams of income, right? Shout out to I Am Academy, and I divide my monthly goal by 5, from each stream of income, look at this, another angel number, y'all. From each stream of income, I will only have to generate $111. So let's just say I make $111 from the Forex market. Let's just say I make $111 from doing Instacart or DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, whatever you guys do. Let's just say I make $111 from my other investments. Let's just say I make $111 from, let's just say you have another business, right? Like I have friends who do so many different things, and they can pull money out of all of these different streams to help get them closer to that goal, right? Now, something else that I recently started doing, that's going to help me reach my financial goal of making $500,000 in the next 6 months is I have become a solar ambassador, right? And with solar, well, actually not an ambassador, I'm a consultant. I'm sorry, certified consultant. But being a solar ambassador, I make $7,000 per commission, right? So when I did the number in my head before I even took this opportunity, I said, how long can it take me to make $1 million? Now, I divided 1 million, right, by 7,000, and I came up with I think it was, I forgot what it was, but let me tell y'all. It basically broke down to I will only have to close 2 deals a week in order for me to make $1 million in a year. That's why I said 6 months 500K, because if I'm doing 2 deals a week, obviously it's going to get me to that goal where I'm trying to be, right? So these things are not impossible. Everything is laid out there for me. I know exactly what I need to do, right? If I need to close 2 deals a week to make 500K in 6 months, then that's what I'm going to do. How do I close those two deals? I make phone calls, right? I market myself. I make sure that every person that I come across, I'm going to tell them about this opportunity because I'm trying to get closer to my goal, right? Now, let's just say I'm having a bad day, or let's just say I go into some depressive state for whatever reason, or I let my circumstances get the best of me and I don't make any calls for 4 weeks, right? If I don't do any work for 4 weeks, is that going to set me back from my goal? Yes or no, y'all? If I don't do anything, right, is that going to set me back from my goal? Let me know, right? And this is why you literally cannot quit, right? You cannot quit because if you have the blueprint laid out for you what exactly you want to do, no matter what that thing is, you have to exactly set a date and just figure out what you can do every single day to get towards that thing. And the only way you won't get there is if you stop. Literally, like what is really stopping me? That's a very logical plan that I came up with to make a $500,000 in 6 months. It's very logical, it's very doable. Now it's just on me to actually stick to the plan, right? To actually follow the blueprint. I know that's a thing that we hear a lot in this business, follow the blueprint, because The blueprint is what's going to get you to where you want to be, right? Now, when in this business, when I was on my way to becoming Platinum 1000, they said, okay, if you want 30 people in your business, that means you have to be contacting, right? If you want to get at least one person on a call, right? You want to get one person on the informational, one person on the call, right? I would have to contact at least, right, 100 people. I would have to contact at least 100 people. Why? Because if I contact 100 people today, at least 10 of those people are going to respond and at least one person is going to sign up. How do I know that? Because statistically, that's usually what happens, right? There are facts and numbers that you can use to trace any goal, right? That's why I always say set measurable goals. Like, what is it that you want to accomplish? How long do you want to take to do this thing? And what can you do on a daily basis that's going to get you there, right? Now, another great analogy, let's just say the distance between where you're at right now and where you want to be. Let's just say you was going on a road trip. Let's just say I'm in New Jersey right now for you guys who are everywhere else. If I'm in New Jersey and I want to take a road trip to California, that's my end goal. I want to end up in California, right? Now, if I tell somebody who has a negative mindset, I'm about to drive to California, they're going to say, well, actually, no, let me use a real example. I actually drove to Florida back in May, right? From New Jersey. I'm telling people, oh, I'm driving to Florida and I'm really excited about this road trip. But everybody's giving me negative feedback. Why are you driving? Why don't you just fly? What if the car breaks down? Like, they're giving me all of these things that's tainting my end goal. It's like, dang, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should do that. But my end goal is still Florida, right? No matter how I wanted to get there, it was still Florida. Whether I flew, whether I took a plane, whether I took a train, my end goal was still Florida. Whether it rained, whether it was a detour, whether I got a flat tire, my end goal was still Florida. Whether people canceled on the trip, whether more people got added to the trip, whether I had money or I did not have money at the time, my end goal was still Florida, right? And the only way I wasn't going to get there is if I didn't go, right? The only way I was not going to get to Florida was if I did not go, right? But I still decided to drive and I made it simply because I kept going, right? I didn't quit. I actually did have a lot of car issues. The car actually broke down in the middle of the trip, right? We had to switch cars in North Carolina, but did we quit? Did we change the end goal just because a little bit of circumstances came up? It actually was raining very hard. It was a lot of stuff going on, right? It was a lot of stuff going on, but we didn't quit. And this is exactly how you have to treat your goals, right? I was so attached to the idea of I need to get to Florida. So no matter what the circumstances were surrounding it, I was going to get there. That is what my intention was set as. And from the beginning, I already expected problems to arise, but whether problems arose or not, I was going to continue on and I was going to actually accomplish my goal, right? So now, when you guys think about your goals again, think about it the same exact way. Just keep going. Another one of my favorite quotes that I say all the time is that if you're going through hell, why would you stop there? Like, literally, if you're going through hell, why would you stop in the middle? Are you going to sit down and just give up? Are you going to admit defeat, right? For something that things may be out of your control, but what you can control is your will and your desire to actually keep going, right? Your will and desire to actually keep going. So if this is making sense, y'all, just drop a one in the chat. Just drop a one in the chat if that makes sense, right? So I'm going to give you guys the second definition that I have for quit, and I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about that as well. Of course, if you guys have any questions, just drop your questions in the chat as I'm chatting, because I'm just sharing some ideas with you all about why you shouldn't quit and why you should keep going. Within this business, I am a Platinum 1000, but my end goal is to be a Chairwoman 750. Why? Because I can. And the only reason I'm not going to get there is if I stop going. If I've already been able to find success at this level, if I've already seen my life change from last year to this year, because this time last year, today is December 1st, this time last year, I was a Platinum 150, right? And I actually didn't hit P6 until December 12th, right? So I was just working every day. I was doing everything I had to do. I was making the calls, picking up the phones. I was doing everything they was telling me to do, right? And it was hard. It was very difficult. Like, I got a lot of rejections. I got a lot of no's. I spent a lot of time talking to people who wasn't really serious about the opportunity, right? I spent a lot of time going to places, going to events, and trying to introduce people to the opportunity, and they just really were not trying to hear it and they weren't trying to listen. And it was very discouraging because I saw other people hitting ranks. I saw people hitting ranks. I saw people coming in 2 weeks hitting the rank that I was trying to hit for 4 or 5 months, right? But it's just because I was going about it a different way. I was just like, I'm not really in a rush to get to this level, but as long as I hit this level, I know I'm going to hit it if I keep going, right? If I keep talking about this every single day, people will join my business, right? And it was just that simple. And because I kept going, right? And I actually could have quit because it was very difficult between P150, P600, even my run to P1000. It was difficult because people will say no. People will say negative things. People will talk about you. People will try to make you feel like your goal isn't worthy just because they don't have what it takes to keep going. People will call you crazy. People will say, "Why are you working so hard? Why are you going so hard? Why are you doing this? Wasn't you just doing this?" It's like, "Okay, well that wasn't working, so I'm trying something else," and that's perfectly fine as well. And because of my perseverance, right? Because that's what this call is about. It's like why you should persevere because that's really the only solution. At the end of the day, life goes on anyway, right? Life goes on anyway. So even if it takes you, or I told myself, even if it takes me right now, I'm 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, right? Even if it took me until the time I'm 35, right? If I decided to stay in this business or not, I'm still going to turn 35 in 6 years, right? If you decide to go for your goals or not, 2022 is still going to come. 2023 is still going to come. 2024 is still going to come, right? 2025 is still going to come, whether you take advantage of the time that you have or not. So if you know that time is continuous and no matter what you do within that time that is going to happen, why don't you use your time to be more progressive? Why don't you use your time to be more productive? Why don't you actually take your time into your hands and start to figure out, you know what? Life goes on anyway. Let me make the best out of today. I saw how far my life came in the last 365. Now let me actually see how far my life can go in the next 365 if I set the intention, right? If I set that goal for that destination, what's going to happen, right? And I really want you guys to start asking yourself that question because another thing, a reason why people quit, I've noticed is that they just always think of the worst. Again, when I was driving to Florida, everybody said the same thing. What if the car breaks down? What if they just kept saying, what if, all of these negative things? And I just was really questioning it because since I changed my mindset, my mind doesn't automatically go to the negative. I'm not a problem based person, right? Because you can either be problem based or solution based. So as soon as something is presented to me, the first thing that I do personally is try to figure out, okay, what is the best that could happen and how can I actually do this, right? Now, if I told y'all I want to make $500,000 in the next 6 months, right? It's not impossible. Now, the old me would have been like, "How you gonna do this? You don't have enough streams of income. Who's gonna give you $500,000? Where's this money coming from? What am I gonna do?" When I like all these problematic thoughts would have came into my mind, and I would essentially not even try because I don't even know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, so I would not even try to do it. That's just how it is. Like if somebody told you, okay, go build this table, and you like, well, I don't know how to build this table. You're not going to try to build the table. But if somebody said, hey, build this table, here's the instructions right here. And once you finish building this table, I'll give you $1 million. Right? Would you still not be trying to build that table, or would you take what you had and actually build that table? Let me know, y'all. Right? If you have instructions, right, and a reward at the end, if you have a blueprint and a reward to accomplish something, why wouldn't you do it? Right? Why would build it? Right? Exactly. Roy say he's gonna build the table, and that's the only thing you really can do because if you know there's $1 million and the instructions are right here, why not just build the table? The only thing that's gonna stop you is you deciding that you don't want to do it, right? You deciding that you do not want to build that table, right? You getting tired. Yo, my hand hurt. Oh, I have a bad back. Oh, I can't see. Oh, the words are too small. Is anybody going to help me build the table? Like you would just start thinking of all of these things that's preventing you from focusing on the goal. Because your mind, you have multiple thoughts a day, but your mind literally can't focus on too many things at one time. So if you're focusing on why you can't do something, how can you literally make mental space to find a solution with how you can do that thing? So I really am challenging y'all that whenever a challenge comes up, don't think about why you can't do something and start thinking about all the reasons how you can, right? So I'm gonna just go back to Roy with this 100K because I love that goal because it's completely doable. Roy wants to make 100K. Now, Roy could be saying the same things. Where am I going to get this money from? What if I don't do it? What if people laugh at me? Blah blah blah. He could think all these negative things. People can tell him, "Oh, you're not going to do that. That's impossible. I ain't never seen nobody." And that's the thing. Just because you ain't never seen nobody do it, that don't mean that it cannot be done. Right? Oh, I never saw nobody make 100K in 6 months. Oh, you think you? It's not about that. You literally need to change your mindset to, all right, how can I make this 100K a month? All right, let me increase my streams of income. All right, what if I actually put more time and energy into this one thing? All right, what if I sold these things? What if I start actually looking more into investments? What if I really got, like, just really start to think about all the positive ways that you can accomplish something and not the negative ways? Right? So if you guys think that you can do that, right, just drop a 3 in the chat. If you think that you can stop worrying about what's the worst that could happen and focus on what's the best that could happen, drop a 3, right? Because that's going to help you. Because we're supposed to be solution based people, right? We're supposed to be solution based people. Like, we're supposed to be able to work through our obstacles and work through complications, and not be distracted by everything negative that's going on. And the cool thing is that, and this is what I really love about science, because I use science, spirituality, the human experience. I use all of these things to get my references. The best thing is that the more that you do this, the your brain is actually going to stretch, and you'll automatically start to find more solutions, right? So write that down as well, guys. What's the best that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Right? And every day, and this is a practice that I've been doing since January 2021, and it's just really funny to me, right? Another thing that I challenge you guys to do so that you don't quit, right? Whenever you think about quitting, because it makes no sense, because time is going to pass regardless. So just keep working. Whenever you think about quitting, I want you guys to add 5 things to your what if list, right? So there's what's the best that could happen. That's what you're going to think about every morning and every night. And then you have your what if list, right? And I started my what if list in January 2021. And it's crazy to see how some of these things actually happen. Now, your what if list is just a practical list of the most random things you could think of. Literally anything. Like, say, for example, what if, like, for example, Roy, you could put on your what if list. What if I made 100K in 6 months? What if I made 150K in 6 months? What if I actually was able to quit my job and make all my money from my phone? What if I was able to relocate off the money I made off my phone? What if I was able to teach 10 people the same thing and now their lives are changed forever? What if I was able to get 100 clients in my business in the next 6 months, Vanessa? What if, right? Because there's nothing wrong with wondering. There's nothing wrong with wondering. That's what your mind is for, right? You have a marvelous mind, and I highly encourage you guys. I want everybody to drop, for my people who are still with me and paying attention, just drop one positive what if that can happen in your life in the next 6 months. And don't start, because I already know some of you guys are thinking about it. You're already like, oh, I don't know. Anything. It can literally be anything. If you are ready to get married, like, what if I meet my soulmate in the next 6 months? What if I retire my parents off of this opportunity? What if I got into one investment that changed my entire life? Right? What if I got into one investment that changed my entire life? Right? I don't know. What if I became the president of the United States? Like, literally, guys, think anything, because it really gets fun. It really gets fun. So, on my what if list right now, I can't even tell you guys how much stuff is on here, but every time I'll go back and read it, occasionally just start from the top because there's so much stuff on there. And I really have to update it because things be happening. What if my business launches in the next 6 months? Okay, Lashonda, what if? I don't know. I don't know. What if? Right. What if? Right. This is crazy. What if? Like, one of my what ifs that I did in May said, what if I create $1 million logo in the next 60 days? And then I actually did get a logo, but I didn't realize that it was on my what if list until recently when I went back and updated it. And you guys can see whenever I accomplish something, I put my little clapping hands. Like, literally, the things with the clapping hands are things that have actually happened on my what if list. And it just goes all the way up. So it's so crazy, right? It's just so crazy what happens when you just let your mind go. And I just get super excited. Like, I recently added, what if I travel to Dubai in 2022? What if I travel to Portugal in 2022? Right? What if I paid off my friends' cars and then took them on a vacation? Right? What if I made 100? What if? What if I have a networking event and it gives me 100 clients? I don't, what if, right? So I want you guys to just continue this practice and just do it every single day, because I promise you within a month, you're going to be like, yo, this is crazy. And it's just going to get you more excited about the possibilities of life and not quitting. Like, it's going to get you excited about not quitting. Like, I remember I was talking to my cousin, and I told her about, okay, you should do your do what if list, right? Do a what if list. So she was applying for a job. She was looking for a job. So she said, what if I get a better position than the position I applied for? And when she went to that job interview, that's exactly what happened. They was just like, oh my God, you're so awesome. We actually want to offer you this position instead for more money. But she was just like, she just couldn't believe that it happened. But I'm like, why wouldn't it happen? It's a possibility that anything can happen. But too many people focus on the negatives and they don't see it to the end to realize their dreams. So again, your dreams are like a destination. You don't change the destination because it rains. You don't change the destination when you get a flat tire. You don't change the destination because somebody canceled. You don't change the destination. You don't change anything. You just keep going. And it's really that simple. And if we're going to use the analogy of building a house, why would you stop if it's just a frame? Even if people are walking by, pointing and laughing at you, oh, what are you building? I don't see the vision. I don't know what you're doing. You working so hard. You building this by yourself. Your house don't look like this house. Your results don't look like my results. Your rank don't look like my rank. This don't look like this. Your trading results don't look like my trading results. Well, they don't see what you see. So you just got to keep building, because if you keep going, right, that's the only way that you're going to be able to actually live in what you built, right? Nobody's going to live in a half built home, right? You're not even going to invest in a half built home. So you might as well either go hard or go home, because before you know it, you're going to build all of these little houses, right? You're going to accomplish all of these little goals that you're going to be able to step back and say, wow, like I've actually built a community of accomplishments. And you can look back and say, this is amazing. Because the thing about a home is more than one person can live in there. So you're not just helping yourself when you keep going, and you're not just hurting yourself when you quit. And that's something that you really need to understand, because there are people right now, whether you know these people or not, they're looking at you to be successful because they don't know how to do it. Right? There are people that are looking at you right now to make the most of yourself because they don't know how to do it. There are people who are counting on you to win. They may not say it, but there are people who actually need you to win, right? Whether you have children, right? Whether you are in a relationship, you have siblings, you have parents that are working, right? There are other people that are depending on you to make the most out of the goals that you set for yourself. Now, people are selfish, right? For people who start something, right? They get people excited, and this is really what annoys me when people quit. Personally, you get me. I'm the type of person, I get emotionally involved with other people's goals, especially being in this business and being a mentor. If you tell me anything, if you tell me anything, I'm automatically emotionally attached, because I know how important that is to achieving your goal. If you tell me you want something, I want that just as bad for you. Like, I want your success just as bad as you want your success. So I'm emotionally involved. I'm putting in emotion and energy, and emotions is just short for energy and motion, right? Emotion is short for energy and motion. I'm putting energy behind this thing. So when you quit, I'm like, now I look stupid building your house, right? Now I look stupid building your house because you put the tools down and you walked away, right? It doesn't make any sense. People are selfish when it comes to not accomplishing something that you set out to do. And this is another thing when it comes to your goals, and it'll help you not quit, because if your purpose or goal is bigger than you, there's no way that you can quit, right? If you know that you're building, just to use the analogy, if you're building a house for someone else, right, for someone other than yourself, drop a one in the chat, right? If what you're doing right now, the goals that you set, if it's only for you, then of course you're going to quit. Of course you're going to quit. But if you're doing it for somebody else, like you're doing it for your family, you're doing it for your kids, you're doing it for your future self, you may be doing it to prove people wrong, but it has to be, your goals have to also benefit more than you, right? Because if you know somebody's dependent on you, why would you quit? Right? If you know your children are dependent on you, why would you quit? If you know there are no six-figure earners, seven-figure earners, eight-figure earners, nine-figure earners, 10-figure earners in your family, and you have the opportunity to do that by learning this skill, starting a business, or just Just being in this environment, being in I Am Academy, being in this environment has just opened my mind up to what you can accomplish, right? And it's honestly not about the trading, because the trading doesn't matter if you don't have no belief. The trading does not matter if you don't have no faith. The trading does not matter if you don't have no integrity, if you have no intentions. None of this matters unless those are the core values of this company, right? It's to educate, enrich, and empower people to create the lives that they want, right? There's actually a whole MMX Mindset Academy specifically for that thing, because if you don't believe that you can make $1 million from your phone, like we've seen so many people in this opportunity do, then you're not going to make $1 million from your phone. If you don't believe that you can make $50,000 residually a month from this opportunity, then you're not going to make $50,000 a month residually from this opportunity. If you don't believe that you can get those clients in your business, if you don't believe that you can lose the weight, if you don't believe that you can change your health, if you don't believe that you can have a healthy, sustainable relationship, if you don't believe that you are deserving of love, if you don't believe that you should have friends and family members that care about you and support you, if you don't believe these things, they're never going to happen, right? So it starts with you setting that intention. And I always ask this question at the end of every off the chart session: what do you want? What do you actually want? Because we can't people please for people who don't even know what they want, right? A lot of us are running around trying to do stuff, trying to make other people happy when these people can't even make themselves happy. So, what do you actually want? What do you want to accomplish? And this doesn't have to be a financial goal, this can be a personal goal. And this doesn't have to be anything that you share with other people, but you need to take it seriously and you need to be emotionally attached to that thing that you want. You don't have to tell a soul, right? There are a lot of deep desires and things that I really, really, really desire and I need and want in this lifetime that I haven't shared with anybody. But I got emotionally involved, right? I set that intention. I got emotionally involved. I make sure I focus on this goal every single day, because if nobody else can see the vision, I can see the vision. I know that I have to persevere, because the only way I won't get what I want is if I quit. Like literally, if even if I'm just driving from here to Burger King, right? My destination is Burger King because my goal is to get food, right? And the desire is I'm hungry, right? If I literally start driving to Burger King, and I said, you know what? I don't want to go to Burger King no more. And I just stop driving. I'm never going to get there. And it's really that simple. But if I say, you know what? It did start snowing. That's fine. That's really fine. Let me just turn on my defogger. Let me just keep driving. Right? But if I stop driving, if I decide to turn around, if I quit, then that's just on me. Right? Because the second definition of quit that I'll leave y'all with is to be released from obligation. Right? To be released from obligation and to seize normal, expected, or necessary action. Right? And I'm going to just drop this definition in the chat because I really like this one a lot. When you quit, it means you seize normal, expected, or necessary action. And like I said, if you quit, right, to quit, you're literally seizing on that necessary action that you need to get you to the next level. Like you're literally giving up on the responsibilities that somebody expects you to do. Think about when you quit a job. You literally leave the job. You are vacating your responsibilities. You're not thinking about it. You don't want to work there. And essentially you're giving up on the team. You don't really care about them. You only care about yourself, and you're going to be on to the next thing. Now, the issue with this is that if you keep moving on to the next thing here, that's just how you're gonna move throughout your life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you quit here, if you decide that you want to stop learning to trade because it's too hard, guess what? The next thing that you do, you're gonna stop doing that because it's too hard. Or maybe you've done a lot of things before this point that you stopped doing because it was too hard, right? So do you think that things are just gonna become easier? Or do you think that you need to learn how you deal with difficulties, right? And I really need y'all to think about that. Do you think that if you quit this, the next thing is going to be easier, right? Or are you just learning how to quit better, right? And that's a very valid question. And this is one reason why I did not stop launching in this business. This is one reason why I still talk about bringing people into this business, because I'm not a quitter, right? Quitters don't win and winners don't quit. And that's the name of this call. Quitters do not win and winners do not quit. And if this company is telling me, they actually gave me a blueprint, the compensation plan, and at the top of the compensation plan, it says $750,000 a month, which means that's $9 million a year, right? And all I have to do is the same. All I have to do is keep going for me to make $9 million a year. And even if that takes me 5 years to accomplish, 5 years gonna come up anyway. So I'm definitely might as well do it. If y'all feeling me and this is really making sense, just drop an MS in the chat. Because whether you take action or not, time is gonna pass. So I'd rather use my time working towards something that is guaranteed, working towards a blueprint that's already been laid out for me. Right? I wasn't a network marketer before I came into I Mastery Academy. I would have never thought that was even a real job. But you're telling me all I have to do is talk to people, tell them what I do, and I can get paid for that. That's crazy. And all I have to do is keep doing the same thing. Wow. And this is not just for this business, but that's my personal experience, and that's the example that I have. The same thing with solar. So basically, you telling me that if one person, right, if one person decides to get solar, I make $7,000. That's what I was asking my mentor. I said, that's what you're telling me. So basically, all I have to do is keep talking until I find that one person. And then me with my what if list, what if I find 5 people? What if I find 50 people? Right? What if? Right? I'm already here. So I'm gonna just leave it there, y'all. You cannot quit because you don't want to seize like to be progressive. Like success is the worthy. No, success is the expression of a worthy ideal or something like that. Like you could be successful every day because you're working at something every single day. You could have a big goal, but don't get discouraged just because it's not happening in the time that you want it to happen. Because I'm not building a house, y'all. I'm building in a state, right? I'm not just building in a state. I'm building a millionaire mansion community full of a bunch of houses and ideas, and I can't quit. This doesn't make any sense to me. Because if I quit, what else am I gonna do? Something else that I'm gonna eventually quit too, right? We are in the best. It's like what a time to be alive. 2021. If you are just born living on Earth at this time, it's a great time to be alive. People are really getting rich, right? The 1% is now the 2% because that's just how much opportunity is out there. There's so many ways for us to grow, for us to get better, for us to collaborate, for us to take things to the next level. And all you have to do is align yourself with those things and just not quit. And that's the cool thing about persevering. Like you would have never known what you could accomplish if you did give up, right? Now I know a lot of us have probably accomplished some things in the last year or so that we're really proud of. And I'm pretty sure if you were consistent with one thing for a year that you're really proud of, that it wasn't good for the whole year, right? I know when I was in college, I would have bad days. I didn't want to go to class, but I never thought about dropping out of school, right? And that's the same mindset you have to have that's the same mindset you have to have when it comes to realizing your personal goals, right? And just accept the fact there will be challenges. This might be hard, right? And I please write this down. Let me type this in the chat, right? There will be challenges, right? This might be hard, right? Everyone will not agree with you. Everyone will not support you. Everyone will not understand, right? But as long as you understand this, you like, all right, so now that you understand this, right? I want you guys to just really read this list out loud to yourself right now. There will be challenges. This might be hard. Everyone will not agree with me. Everyone will not support me. Everyone will not understand me. I feel like if you say this every single day, no matter what you're trying to accomplish, you're going to get it. You're going to get it because you don't care about the critics. You don't care about the negatives. You don't care about the naysayers. You don't care about the haters. You don't. Roy want to make $100,000 in 6 months, right? Now, Roy, let's just say you shared that plan with one of your family members and they say, oh, Roy, you can't do that. I bet you that person doesn't make $100,000 a year. So how are you going to let people who never did what you're trying to do tell you what you can do, right? So that's all for today, family. You cannot quit, right? It is on you to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, right? You just have to, when you keep going, the more you keep going, right? The more people are going to fall out of your life, right? They're going to fall out of your life, and the people that are supposed to be there are going to come in. Because when you throw something out or you let something go, you literally make room for something else. So stop focusing on the people who don't support you. Stop focusing on the people who don't understand. Do you think McDonald's focuses on people who want to buy fried chicken, or do they focus on people who want burgers? Right? And do you think Popeyes focuses on people who want burgers, or they focus on people who want chicken? Right? You only going to focus on what's feeding you, right? They don't sit here. Popeyes and McDonald's don't go back and forth, right? They don't go back and forth, right? A fish, no, it's another quote that says something like, a monkey can't call a fish stupid for not knowing how to climb a tree or something like that. That's not the fish element. That it's just not. Like, you can't call a fish stupid for not knowing how to climb a tree. Like, a monkey really can't call a fish stupid. It doesn't make any sense. So don't let people who don't have what you want tell you what you can and cannot do, right? Because they will keep you stuck, and y'all will all be on the same level forever, and you will never get to the 2% listening to the 98 percenters. Okay? So that's all for today, guys. If you guys have any questions, you guys should be. I'll give everybody the chance to. Oh, sorry. If you do want to say anything, or you have any commentary, you can just raise your hand or drop it in the chat. If not, I'll just wait about 30 seconds and we can wrap it up. I will be posting this on YouTube as well. This session is every Wednesday at 2 p.m. I just come through, give some mindset gems, share what's on my mind, things I've been thinking about for the week. Mondays are when we do the training sessions. Fridays, we also do trainings. Fridays is typically on IG. Mondays will be on Zoom. And that's when we are on the charts. This is off the charts because everybody needs a little needs a little mindset call, right? All right, you're welcome, Roy. You are welcome. I appreciate you coming every week or whenever you can make it, because I know you're busy. But all right, guys, I'll give you guys a few more seconds. And if not, we're going to wrap it up for the day. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. But for people who are following the Digital Dash, we do not have a call tonight because it is Xavier's birthday. Xavier is Spicy. She's one of our hosts. There's me, Spicy, and Elle. We do the Digital Dash every Wednesday at 8. But her son turned 8 today, so no Digital Dash tonight, but we will be back on Sunday, family. Love y'all.